Hello, Robin here. Welcome to my studio. Today we're going to learn how to do the Eclipse stamping or card making technique on a couple different cards. Glad you could stop by. Let's get started on these cards. To start with, you're going to need some dies, and I'm using the large letter dies from Stampin' Up. And also you're going to need a stamp set, and I'm going to use the Hedgehogs stamp set for the primary card today. So to get started, we're going to have to stamp. I'm going to use my cool new Stamparatus tool. If you haven't heard about it, it's the greatest as far as stamp positioning. We're going to start with a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's cut at 5.5 by 3.5. Now I found when I use the Stamparatus that if you put images too close to the edge, they don't stamp as well. So on a smaller piece like this, I'm going to put it, see the thicker lines here? I'm going to put that corner right there on that thicker line. Now these magnets are super duper strong, so be careful. And you don't want them to touch if you can at all help it. So I have those on there. And then you're going to stamp. We're going to do this. Now you probably wonder how I got these stamps on here. I wanted to make a scene. Normally, when you're stamping, you would probably use several. We have 4 different panels on the Stamparatus, but I wanted to make a scene, so I lined them up where I wanted them. Now I want this other flower right here. So I'm going to place that on here. Can't tell where it's going to be. So how you connect them is you place the stamp where you want it and just press. Now they're all on here and I can ink them up. I found that the Stampin' Spots work the best with the Stamparatus. I'm going to use soft suede. Now, there's several places that you can get the Stampin' Spots. One is if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get a new Stampin' Spot each month in your kit. So you'll have lots of those to use with your Stamparatus. The other thing is the new Occasions catalog has several collections of Stampin' Spots. So that is another way you can get them. And then the third way that you can get stamping spots is to buy the uninked spots in the big annual catalog and then ink them up. So you can have all the colors you want. Now did you notice, I wanted to show you this, I was stamping and talking. That looks pretty good. But I want it darker, so I'm going to stamp a second time. You saw me ink that up. And we'll just press. Now look at that crisp, clear image that I got with that. Beautiful. And next I'm going to use some markers to color my flowers and my bird. Now, if you've ever inked up, oh, I see some ink on there. Got a little bit of my soft suede. This is an absorber cloth that I'm cleaning that with. If you've ever inked up your stamps with markers to get more than one color, like I'm going to do the flowers with Wisteria Wonder, you've probably noticed that you don't get as even of coverage as if when you use your stamping pad. It's harder to get that nice even coverage. One way to get more even coverage is you want to use the wide tip of your pen or the brush tip. And you can tell that it's the brush tip because it has the wide band there. And we'll go ahead. I'm going to color the leaves on both. And we're going to color the bird soft sky. Now, if you know anything about our inks, soft sky is a really light color, and it's going to be hard to get this bird to show up if I would just straight stamp it. And then we're going to use soft suede for the branches. We can bring that over. And we'll just press where the birds and the flowers are. Now, it looks pretty incredible for doing with the markers. But if there's anything that you see that you want to maybe darken a little, I see the leaves could maybe use a little bit more. So I'll color those and maybe these leaves too. And I definitely want to do my bird again because I want him to really show up on my card in this light color. And I'll probably do the flower heads again. Oh, we might as well just color it all, huh? We'll get a nice dark, the nice dark images. And our branch. Easy peasy. Just press. Wow, look at the difference that made. So we're all inked up. I'm going to use my absorber cloth to clean off my stamps. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I think they were made to dry your car or something. So try looking in automotive section maybe. But I just cut off a little piece and they clean everything up really nice and easy. And get it off of there. The next thing we're going to do is color our hedgehogs because I want, oops, wrong one. Oh, here we go. We're going to color that hedgehog and the little flower. I'm going to use my markers. I'm going to use this wide tip. You could use the small tip if you want. You need pretty good control to use the wide. And we'll just make that Wisteria Wonder. And then I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends. This is the Crumb Cake. And again, I'm going to start with this wide tip. I'm going to use the lighter Crumb Cake and just lay down a little bit of color sort of in the center of his belly. And then we'll start laying down the darker color. I do love these things. So around the edge he'll be darker, his belly will be a little lighter. Now to blend them, I'll go back with my lighter blender and we'll sort of blur those lines a little bit and blend that. That's all there is to that. Now for the eclipse part. We're going to need our letters. So I'm going to do hugs. So we'll line that up about where I want it. I would like for the flowers to show a little bit in my U. And we'll place the G here. I'd like to get, see if we can push this over just a little bit. I like the looks. I like to get some of his spines there on that S curve there. And then my H, there is an up and a down here on this, so I should watch that. And you want to make sure they're nice and straight. And here's a tricky way to keep them straight while you're cutting. You can use a tape that is removable. I'm going to use washi tape because I don't have any of the, what do you call it, the post-it note type tape. So I'm going to go ahead and just use washi tape because it is generally removable too. And that's going to keep these in place while I run it through my big shot. Once you run it through your big shot, you'll want to pop out your letters. And we're going to put this on our card base. I'm going to use Wild Wasabi because that was one of the inks that I used today. We'll burnish it with our bone folder. Whoa, sticking. Place that right on there. Now I'm going to show you how to do the eclipse part. You want to cut out 3 each of a contrasting color, and I chose to use the Wisteria Wonder. And then we're going to glue on. We'll glue these on here like such to place those, and then they're thicker. You can see how thick they are. They're going to be stronger, and they're going to stick or pop up sort of like a dimensional on our card. So I have that done. The other thing that I did was I staggered it just a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the Wisteria Wonder. And then we'll take some adhesive and we'll glue those on. You could use glue dots. You could use your regular adhesive. I'm going to use this Tomboy here. And voila. And you'll keep doing that. You'll keep gluing that on. I'll go ahead and do this. I guess the trunk goes down below. Here's our little hedgehog and our S. Whoa. And our G. Yes, I know I didn't do it in order, but it doesn't matter because I have the negative there and I know where to put my letters. Make sure that all dries. And you can see how lovely that looks, and it pops it up. Now we just want to decorate our card just a little bit, so I've stamped a sending with the Sunshine Saying stamp set, and I punched it with our balloon punch. So we're going to put that sending there. And I just want just a little bit of pop here, so I'm going to add some pearls. Uh-oh. to the flowers. And last but not least, just a little bit of washi tape. I love this gingham or plaid look of this washi tape. So put some across there. And trim. And we've completed our card. Now I'm going to show you some variations. You'll notice that I cut out 3 of each of these purple and stacked them up, the Wisteria Wonder. You can just cut them out of scraps, or you can be a little more strategic and cut them out of a piece. I cut this 2.5 by 5.5, and then I lined up my letters. Remember, it's already taped, so I can line them right up on there and cut that out. And if you do that, the cutouts from your lining letters could make another card that says hugs. And this time I used a contrasting background and placed my letters on top with some designer paper. This is the Daisy Delight designer paper. And so that's another way to do the eclipse. This one is a little more subtle. This one has the designer paper. And the third way, these I use letter dies, is you could use a word die, like I did on this one. And I use designer paper again to do the celebrate. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, be sure to subscribe to my Stampin' Country YouTube channel. Have a fabulous day.